but live. Hey, Corstian. How are
Yes,
you after
sir.
5 weeks?
Doing pretty good. Broncos playing some good football this season, so that's exciting. How about you?
That's it. That was a great game. Like 18 straight to take the lead. I would have more words for that. That was a phenomenal game. I was watching it nip and tuck. Yeah, saw the Eagles get Devonta Smith and AJ Brown more involved. Great, but they have a philosophical problem on offense that they need to figure out, similar to what they did last season. But only this time they don't have Kellen Moore to try and figure things out, and their offensive line is not as good. So we'll dive into that a little bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, Bears couldn't screw it up after winning 2 straight, so really happy about that. A lot of great games. Lot of shockers, but yeah. Are you noticing a delay on my end? Or your end?
Earlier there was like a little delay, but it's good right now for me.
Okay, I think we're okay now, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, before I get into some of the film, what were kind of your observations in Week 5, or like the seasons so far?
Yeah, well, I think what you said about the Ravens missing the playoffs, I mean, considering just the injuries and everything, if the injuries persist with the Ravens, it seems pretty validated. Especially the way the Texans manhandled them just a couple days ago. So that's kind of like one observation, but yeah. And then like this week, I texted you this, but like I predicted like the Broncos were going to win, the Buccaneers were going to win. I thought the Patriots were going to win. Like I bet like against like I know Vegas odds had all 3 of those teams losing, but I had all 3 of those teams winning. And with that, it's like it showed that at least the Buccaneers off like Emeka Egbuka is going to be a dog in the NFL. I think he's gonna like come like a year or two.
He
from
is a
now,
dog right now, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I always like say wait after your rookie year to like officially make that statement of being like a top 5 caliber receiver. But I think in like a year or two, like if he keeps up this type of caliber production, I wouldn't be surprised to have him be like kind of the new wave of like basically the new era Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase caliber potential player, which I think would be really cool. With both of them,
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
like he and there's one other receiver that I was like the way Travis Hunter was playing yesterday, but there's one more receiver where I was just watching him. I was just like, wow, like this is a new wave of talent right here, and like they weren't necessarily picked. I believe if he was some Ohio State or some other like high profile university, but like, yeah, like just the types of receivers that are blowing up so far in the league are just not what you thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's like people are like concerned about the Buccaneers drafting Egbuka, considering the fact that you already had Mike Evans. Sure, Chris Godwin was hurt, but he's kind of come back this season. And then you even have like a solid slot receiver, McMillan. I mean, but like McMillan's hurt, Godwin is hurt, but it's still like, I mean, long term it's kind of hard to see that, but then now it's definitely paid dividends for them, especially just like without Egbuka, they are not in the position they are to. I'm like they're my division winners, I think, by a long shot at this point. 5 weeks into the season, for the NFC South, but without Egbuka, I think it's still moderately a toss-up for that division, just in terms of the rest of the division not being as hot as I think I expected certain aspects to be. Like I feel like the Falcons, I think they'll be an all-right team, but like I thought the Falcons going into the season might be like a wild card push. I mean, they still could be if like with a late season push or like strong end of the season, but so far it's kind of 50-50 with them. So Buccaneers have been good, and like you said, Eagles. I feel like I say this every week, but inconsistency with the offense. I think they really miss Kellen Moore. And I think my take from earlier was like, if they can't just like figure out how to consistently have like good offense throughout the entirety of the game, they're going to be like a first round knockout in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because like if you look at the NFC this year, it's like completely flipped from like the NFC to the AFC. Like I think you had talked about this question a couple episodes ago, but
Mm-hmm.
you almost feel like the NFC is stronger than the AFC this year, and it's kind of remarkable, like just how many like it's really anybody's conference, to be honest, with the way the Eagles are playing. That said, they're 4-1. I know I texted to you yesterday, but I just thought it was alarming because I don't think we had these three teams like performing as well as we did like after 5 weeks. The Colts, the Jags, and the Steelers have a combined record of 11-3. In the Chiefs, Ravens, and the Bengals, all teams I thought they were going to finish as like high seeds, like in their conference, like 5-10 this year. Now, obviously, the Joe Burrow injury and the Lamar Jackson injury and the Chiefs injuries have played somewhat of a role, but I don't think we've expected this for 5 weeks. That's been kind of crazy to see that pan out the way it has.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I think there's like it was like a graphic, one of the sports social media things that posted it where you have like these three teams that are considered not to be good are actually good, and then you had like the top contenders are surprisingly not. So it means like the playoff picture. I mean, obviously we're still in week 5 right now, but technically, right, playoff picture just is no. What I think AFC would have been number 1 Colts. Then it's the Bills, Steelers, Chargers, like the wild teams is the Jaguars, Broncos, and the Patriots. Like, ain't that a lineup?
Oh, 100%. I'm getting somewhat of a lag, but yeah, the crazy 7 teams. Like I think at least half of them we didn't expect them to be where they are position wise. So it's just been ridiculous, like from that front.
Yeah.
And like the Ravens have been particularly baffling, even with all the injuries, because the way they're getting outperformed. Like they made the Texans look like the Rams or the Lions, like that poured 52 on the Bears. It was just insanity. Like thank goodness I started CJ Stroud in Dynasty because I was kind of forced to because Penix was on bye, and he turned out the win for me. I don't think I ever scored that high in fantasy ever, like in that Dynasty league. So
yeah, you cooked that this week.
But I was like, whoa, like that Ravens defense, feast or famine, and it's gonna be feast for most offenses. So there's that, and then for the second straight week in a row, I think we have to start talking about this. I don't think we should have to talk about this, but literally the week after Adonai Mitchell threw the game away for the Colts, Amari DiMercato literally did the same exact thing for the Cardinals. Literally celebrates way too early, has no reason to, and it results in the Tennessee Titans getting their first win. And it's just completely unbelievable how that happened. I don't know if you saw some of the Instagram reels like that are kind of just like have the crazy sound effects like as the highlights of the game are playing along. I'm just like, oh my god. If there was a Shaqtin' Fool in the NFL, like those 2 clips are going up, but it's like we've seen this movie before. We've seen people just drop the ball way too early, and it's just like, can you just wait till you got like both feet and like secured ball like behind the goal line? Like, I don't get it. It's like there should be teaching tape on this, but at the same time, it shouldn't have to be said. Yeah, brutal loss of the Cardinals. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, because like I'd even like to an extent I'd even accept the mistake for some college level players. Like a freshman, sophomore, like messing up in the fumble. I mean, yeah, you're still a young player. That's understandable. But at this point, you're a professional football player, right? Like this is your job, and to make like these stupid mistakes, and it's like there's the mistakes that are penalties, which are like sure. I mean, that's understandable. Like I mean, you still want to be disciplined and not have penalties during your game because they obviously cost you. But like ultimately, this is like the ultimate mistake here, right? Because like again, it costs you the game. Whereas like obviously, like at that point, throw an interception because like like I feel like the morale of the team is significantly better after an interception than after whatever that garbage was.
Yeah, and I was listening to First Take a couple days ago, and they're like, this could have changed the entire trajectory of the Cardinals and the Titans, and then they had to bring up the Commanders and the Bears game last year. They just had to do it, and I'm just like, man, you're right. You're right, because think about like, I know the Colts are the number 1 seed right now, but think about how much of a firm stranglehold they would have like on the AFC South if those two plays didn't happen in the way Jonathan Taylor's been balling out. Like it's like those kind of these kind of mistakes, they change not only games, franchise trajectories, and like which regimes like are currently on their roster, because it's not out of the possibility that Jonathan Gannon's without a job, GM's without a job, and Kyler Murray is fired at the end of the season. With the way the Cardinals have been so like up and down, and we'll get into that later, but it's like when you have a mistake like that, it's just like, what do you did you not watch the Colts tape like last week? I'm like, these are things we absolutely do not want to do, whatever the situation. I don't know. Like I think after Tyreek Stevenson celebrating before the Hail Mary play, as the Hail Mary play was going underway, like I thought that beat the cake. This is bad. So.
Yeah. I didn't like watch obviously the entirety of the game, but I know Kyler Murray got hurt. Did he come back to the game at all, or was he out there?
I have no idea. I literally watched the final drive where Cam Ward led them to like field goal range. So
yeah.
I didn't see the entirety of the game.
Kyler Murray, yeah, it looks like he did come back, but still. Yeah. Also, did you see Trevor Lawrence picking his nose on TV?
I don't think I want to. I didn't, but let's see here. So I was just looking at the win probability. So up until 56 seconds in the fourth quarter, the Titans had a 24% or 25% win probability. Like literally 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. But then it was 21-6 with 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. At that point, they had a 4% win probability before that play happened. That's just unbelievable. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, Jaguars and Chiefs was an odd game. Like, last thing I'll say about observation before we go into the film was like, Trevor Lawrence almost threw 2 really bad interceptions. Then the interception he threw, like, that one should have been a flag. That was just a terrible miss. Patrick Mahomes, for some inexplicable reason, like does not see the linebackers playing out of his mind. What's his name? Can't think of it right now. Devin Lloyd.
Yeah,
Devin Lloyd. He does not see Devin Lloyd at all. Leads up pick 6, and the Chiefs up 14. That was just a wild game. And then on top of it all, Trevor Lawrence, the game-winning play, just stumbles, trips on his own feet. Nobody touches him down. A lot of people are dogging Chris Jones for that. And like he was just trying to throw the ball away because it was already like a messed up play to begin with. Ends up scoring to win the game, like, and just a wild sequence of events. But credit to Jacksonville. Like whenever you're down 14-0 and you tie it, let alone like just completely take the game over, like that speaks volumes about like how serious you should take them. And yeah, like that was just an incredible game. Like you saw like Liam Cohen constantly out schematic Steve Spagnuolo, and we've been talking about this late last night, but it's like I don't know if it's like the war of attrition for the past couple of years of like almost playing like 2 months more football than every other team in the league.
Yeah,
but I think it has an effect on the Chiefs defense and special teams right now because they look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but then it's like it's interesting because like again, I just look back at that Chris Jones play, or at the Chris Jones literally at the end of the game, where even before we really see Trevor Lawrence fall down, he kind of gets blocked or whatever, so he kind of just stands back and isn't really putting any pressure on anyways. And I think that's more of the gripe than just standing. I don't know. Because it's you're paying the man a ton of money too, and it's you're not paying him just to stand there on a game-winning play. And sure, it's if you get blocked, maybe you're looking for another spot, but he's not even moving around trying to find another angle to push towards getting Trevor Lawrence. And then Trevor Lawrence was running, stumbling in, and then he's still just kind of standing there, really not even engaging in the play. To an extent, it's maybe you're just not gonna be able to get there in time, but isn't that kind of basic football defense kind of coaching that people do? Is every man to the ball, kind of once it's past the line of scrimmage, everybody go to the ball, everybody attack the football, and a veteran who's considered one of the best by the league isn't doing that is kind of what disappointed me.
Yeah, and he's the leader of the defense. He's the straw that stirs the drink. It's right now the only two players who I think are playing really well is Trent McDuffie and Drew Tranquil. That's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Hicks in some spots, and maybe get a sprinkle of the other defensive end. I can't think of his name right now. He had a pretty nice play, but I am not describing him well.
Karlaftis?
Yeah, Karlaftis plays well from time to time, but other than that, you're not really getting that much else out of the Chiefs, and it's been, I think it's caught up to them, not hitting on their draft picks soon enough, and obviously it's too early to tell with this current draft class, but it's they're not hitting on them anymore, and you could tell without Justin Reed and without some of the key guys they lost, they don't look the same.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah, so it's for if I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be frustrated because I even saw obviously every fan's gonna complain about refs, and I think there's questionable calls on both sides. I think of the football at certain points. I mean, as every game is, but then I even saw some Chiefs fans where it was the penalties are 100% on us, and the fact that there's reasonable. I mean, obviously there's reasonable fans everywhere, but just the fact that in the heat of the moment, fans are recognizing our defense is playing super undisciplined right now. On the there was the two, even in special teams, right? There was the two holding penalties on the kick returns or whatever, and apparently it was the same dude both times. And so it's not even across the thing. It's same dude messed up twice, holds both two times on these returns, which basically pushes back their offense 15 yards. It's half the distance to the goal. And you're
yeah, and those are big returns too. If I was the kick returner, I'd be pissed. And even Butker screwing up on that go ahead drive by Jacksonville. You just don't see these kind of errors from the Chiefs. Not after 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why I would be a little bit worried unlike previous years is because of the way the Chargers are playing right now, even though they're slipping, and the way Denver just played against Philadelphia. On top of now you have Jacksonville and the Colts playing out of their minds right now, and the Texans who are trying to improve. Kansas City is looking like a wild card team if they turn it around November and December, but they got to do it because next week, who they're facing? Detroit. That is not that is not a recipe for success on what based on how they played yesterday. If they're hoping to replicate that against Detroit, because Detroit is definitely not going to make the same mistakes that Trevor Lawrence did, not with their skill positions.
Yeah, and Detroit, outside of losing really against the Packers, have looked more or less like what they did last season too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think I mean Chiefs have had I'd consider the Chiefs have had a tough schedule this year just in general, because week 1, who'd they face? My gosh, where did you go?
Chargers.
Yeah, so week 1 Chargers is a tough matchup for them, right? And then week Where are
The Eagles, I think.
the Eagles? Yeah, Eagles, who were undefeated until this week. Broncos. And then they beat the Giants, and you're like, okay, well, good, you beat an easy team. Week 4, and then you beat the Ravens pretty handily, which I think was a good sign for them. But still, going into that matchup, you're like, this is a tough matchup for the Chiefs. You go against the Jaguars, who have some semblance of being an actual competitor this season, and then, like you said, you have the Lions, and then they face the Raiders, which I think they should realistically curb stomp the Raiders. The Raiders suck so bad right now. It's kind of depressing.
It's rough. Like Geno Smith's gotta cut it over, but like I agree. And then on top of the attrition they faced past couple seasons, like I think it's a real thing. Like I don't think they could still end up in the AFC Championship game. Honestly, as a 5 or 6 seed, I would not be surprised because I think by November, December, they should have things fully wrapped up. But at the same time, like it's not looking good for them right now. And unless they beat Detroit, like I don't see how they're winning the division this year.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, the Chargers, they've had their stupid last 2 games ever since Justin Herbert officially has been dating Madison Beer or whatever her name is. They've been like 0-2. I saw a comment on that. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. But anyways, they lost the last 2 games, but still, like, I envision the Chargers still are like one of the top AFC teams this year, and then the Broncos have seemed to start getting more consistent over the past like 2 weeks. Just having like properly beating the Bengals like as they should in the situation the Bengals are in, and then managing to beat the Eagles with the fourth quarter comeback. So it's gonna be a tough road for the Chiefs, I think.
Sutton and Benito are playing out of their minds. Like I was thoroughly impressed watching them yesterday. Like that was crazy. And Dobbins too. Dobbins is like giving them a big lift. All right, let's dive into the film. These are all quarterbacks. So I have some good, some bad, some positive progressing. Drake Maye had a heck of a game against Buffalo. Really made a lot of clutch throws, a lot of great seam throws, but Stephon Diggs, what a homecoming for him. Like I think I was seeing a stat, like he also produced an absurd stat line when he came back to Minnesota playing for the Bills. So not surprised he was motivated for this game. But just check out this throw. Like on the run, sees Diggs going open to the corner and has a safety on his back and places it in the perfect spot with enough room for him to get 2 feet on the sideline. That's just a great throw by Maye. That's like that just shows you like what his ceiling is. Like if he's able to be that pinpoint accurate from like a non-standard quarterback stance. So just to highlight, I was just like, wow, that shows me a lot with where he's progressed and like what he can do when you got the right pieces around him.
Yeah. Yeah, Drake May's been good this season. And yeah, that was obviously a phenomenal throw. Especially, just the guy, like, even more so on, like, the run, just the guy right in his face as he's making that throw, I think, like, adds just to the level of just impressiveness by that throw. Especially, I feel like quarterbacks every day train to roll out of the pocket and throw, I feel, But, obviously it's still a good throw, but in the face and everything going on at the same time. It's exciting. Looks like the Patriots might be back soon.
Yeah, not good for Bills fans when it used to be a cakewalk. So, yeah, I think the Bills can still win the division, but it's obviously going to be a lot harder than it looks. Cool. All right. Speaking of another good, some good throws. Sorry, Cardinals fans, got to do it. But Cam Ward, I was a little bit harsh on him last week. Of course, yeah, you're trying to defend him a little bit. So you know what? I'll give him some love here with some of the throws he made.
Yeah.
You could really see his rocket arm like coming to the pro level and like coming to fruition. Great job splitting the safeties. This was a tough placement. Again, really good placement. I think that was like the go-ahead field goal throw to Ridley. And the outbreakers, like you could tell, like he's not he's doing this all in the pocket too, which is just absurd. Like that's what gives you hope. Like the fact that he's able to be this pinpoint, read an NFL defense, and just get the right touch on it. So Cam Ward, really high ceiling. This is kind of like the ups that you get from him.
Yeah. And I just think, like, imagine once the Titans get like a superstar offensive piece to really like maximize his overall skill set. Because, like, I mean, his guys are all right, but I mean, like, Calvin Ridley, I think he has his moments. He's not like he's good, but he's really inconsistent, which I think is my biggest issue with Calvin Ridley. Where like one game, Calvin Ridley will look like maybe one of the best receivers in the league, and then he'll go on like a 5-week streak of like doing pretty much nothing for the team, which kind of stinks. And then you're like number 2 guy in this offense is like Alec Ayamanor, who is one of the rookies we've highlighted in the past. And he looks good, but again, he's still only a rookie. He has a lot of room, I think, to still grow. Plus, you get a better offensive line in front of Cam Ward here. Ideally, I feel like you'd want to get a better running back situation too. I'm not the big. I mean, like, Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears are all right running backs, but I wouldn't be like over the moon. If I was a Titans fan next season, being like, this is how our offense is going to run. But whoever we draft is like maybe a receiving talent plus those 2 as our premier running backs. But yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, you want to see more talent. I was never a fan of Ridley as like a number 1 receiver in an offense myself because I think he's a great number 2. But I think whenever he had a season with Julio Jones on the same team, a lot of people were like, "Oh, really should really be a number 1," when it's really like, no, it's kind of like Julio Jones is kind of providing him the opportunities to succeed one-on-one. So, like, you also want to preface that. And then also when he was on the Jags, I was like, watch out for Christian Kirk. He's kind of like the real guy that I could see be the more productive person. So it's like, not to say I told you so, but it's more like kind of like what kind of player Ridley is, because he can definitely capitalize in one-on-one situations. But if he's kind of the focal point, that's where things get sticky and his impact is not as great. So the total inconsistent results, I could totally see that out of him. And yeah, you want to keep adding to the pieces you got. So 100%.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting though, just like Cam Ward, like of number 1 overall quarterbacks, feels like one of the least talked about number 1 overall draft picks. Like for a quarterback in recent memory, I mean, there's like Trayvon Walker on the Jaguars, who I feel like is probably talked about even less so. But yeah, for being a quarterback taken number 1 overall, I feel like there isn't a lot of media discussion about him, which in a way I think is kind of nice though, because being a number 1 overall pick, I feel like typically there's a lot of scrutiny over how you play, and like there's an immediate like, oh, we want him to be a superstar. I mean, I look at Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, where it's like every single season I feel like the public eye just defaults on them simply because they were taken number 1 overall, and you're expecting these guys to be franchise savers. And so every time they mess up, it's like, come on, you're a number 1 overall pick. You got to be better than that. Whereas Cam Ward, he is a number 1 overall pick, but nobody's really like down his throat complaining about mistakes that he has, or like, oh, we should be winning these games. Why isn't their franchise turning around? Which I'm a fan of.
I mean, I think it's clear as day, like what Tennessee's got going on. It's a dumpster fire, and even so, they somehow pulled out this first win. But like, to answer your question, like Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders are getting way, way more buzz than Cam Ward, and that is shocking. Like Shedeur Sanders is a quarterback 3, and people are like still talking about his miming, his antics, and like how he should act and stuff like that. And it's like, why are you giving Shedeur all this attention when he's not even the starter?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's and with Jackson Dart, it's like, yeah, I get it. I talked about him last week, but there are some games where he still has to grow and develop, and like Cam Ward was number 1 pick for very rightful reasons. So it's fully dependent on the situation. I think as the situation gets better, he will get better and he will start to get more notoriety.
Yeah. Cool.
Alrighty, let's jump to Trevor Lawrence. Game-winning drive.
Yeah.
This throw to Brian Thomas, like that gives you all the confidence in the world, like that he's your guy. I don't care what you say, but like when you see this is what the Jags signed up for when they drafted him number 1 overall. If you're getting that out of him, I think you have to feel really, really comfortable as a Jags fan. The whole entire issue is with Trevor Lawrence, you get this, and you get the random stupid mistakes where you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, and it's like, okay, how do we make less of those and more of these plays over here? But I have to give him credit. That was just a ridiculous throw, and like that kind of changed the momentum of the game because I don't know if you noticed, but they had the ball with 145 going into this drive. And leading up to it, like it was just both Trevor Lawrence scrambles, and they like ticked off like a full 40 seconds before this play happened. So it was about to be like headlines of like, Trevor, what the like you just mismanaged this horribly, and then you pull off a throw like that. So give credit where credit is due. That was just like a ridiculous throw on the pro level.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like that's just kind of my deal with Trevor Lawrence, though, is like I think like talent-wise, he really does have the arm to make pretty much any throw he wants on the field. Like I'd say like 9 times out of 10, he probably hits that throw. But then it's like it just he has really inconsistent decision making, I think, where he makes these like amazing throws, but then we see that he tries to make a throw that he probably can. Like it's probably the best that anybody could make a throw for, but then it's just like a poor read, and so it just doesn't pan out because the coverage is perfect, and it's like, well, okay, like you gotta be better than that, T-Law, but yeah, if you can, like you said, if you can just keep on playing like this version of Trevor Lawrence, that's good because again, you drafted him number 1 overall. Is this finally his breakout season? But
Jags can make the Super Bowl if he puts it all together. I'm not joking when I say that. They have all the pieces that they have the running backs, they have the tight end, assuming Strange comes back healthy. They have the wide receivers like Parker Washington emerging as a strong number 3 among like their highly talented 2 wide receivers they got. Like their defense is really good with Devin Lloyd playing out of his mind and like Josh Hines Allen always being a threat. And their secondary like being really, really good against the pass this year. Like they got everything rolling right now, and they just need Trevor to like dial it in, and they should be set.
Yeah. Yeah. So good stuff.
Alrighty. I know you saw the Patrick Mahomes throw to end the game, and how far he didn't throw it. I just want to remind you, like, of the season Baker Mayfield's having right now. It's if Dak Prescott is your MVP, I don't blame you. But like the way this guy is playing, like he needs to get more attention. Like without Mike Evans, Chris Godwin is still coming back. Like, and like the way he's making stars and like just continuing to come back. Like, and this throw is just like completely ridiculous. I don't know if you saw the tweet, but leading up to this game, he had a right bicep injury. So like that's to throw that like healthy is just I can't do that. You probably can't do that. Like that's insane. Like doing that while you have an injured bicep, that's I can't even imagine. So Baker gutting it out. We're having one of the best quarterback performances this season up to this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really impressive just the overall roster construction that the Buccaneers have had, even post Tom Brady, because there's always like the question mark of like, can Baker fill in for Tom Brady? Obviously, they haven't won a Super Bowl, which is the ultimate. We've finally reached that Tom Brady level, but Baker's kept the team, 100% competitive pretty much every season, and then you draft a superstar in Ibuka, and also I want to give like a mini shout out to Sterling Shepard because I feel like ever since he left the Giants, even on the Giants, he was always hurt, and so it's like, oh, he could be good, but he's never healthy. And so it was kind of just like a disappointment of a player. But I mean, he's obviously buried quite a ways down in the depth chart here. Luckily, I mean, not luckily, but luckily for him, I guess there's injury, so he gets more play time. But he's played pretty solid, where he had a really solid route earlier, I think, in this game for a touchdown in the red zone. So the fact that despite injuries, these guys have been able to come out with playmakers that, can ball out pretty much against any team like this. It's good news. I feel like a lot of people around the league, plus Seahawks fans in particular, were like boasting about how they have one of the better secondaries in the league. And so to have this absolute shootout, missing Mike Evans, Chris Godwin kind of feels 50-50 still, or he isn't like super 100% in my opinion. And then Sterling Shepard. And then, I mean, just impressed with the team.
Yeah. I mean, they're one of the 7 NFC teams that can win it all right now. And I think you got to put them at the top of the list. Even with the comeback attempt that fell short against the Eagles, I still believe in this team. Like, if that's the only team you're losing to, and we got so many questions about the Eagles, like, I think the Buccaneers are in a pretty good spot. So, to be fair, I also want to go to the other side because this was just a great game, like as far as general. So I want to show you in ways like how Sam Darnold has like grown, because look, this is not a perfect pocket here, and the common conception, especially with the Vikings, was like, okay, once you compress the pocket and once you get after Sam Darnold, he's not the same player under pressure. This is just a perfect example of like how he's grown like in his career. Like, this is not a perfect pocket. He has to step up, step left, avoid the sacks, and try to find an open guy and keep his eyes up. That is not an easy thing to do. This is not drawn up. And this is why I think the Seahawks are in a really good spot with Sam Darnold as QB, and they're still for real and still live to win the NFC West.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that was, I mean, a lot of people, including myself, I think, had concerns about Sam Darnold just with pressure.
Me too.
I feel like, I mean, early weeks, I'd argue he struggled a little bit, but it feels like he's really found his rhythm. It obviously helps that Jackson Smith-Njigba looks like he's going to be one of the other premier receivers in the league over the next.
That's who it was. Yep, JSN.
Yeah, JSN. Yeah, he's a dog. I was super high on him going into this season. Just with how he had like a really underrated superstar finish, I think, last season as well. And so I feel like he was really good, but not too much. I mean, I think he had a decent amount of credit, but not enough credit in my opinion. And I think they also did decently well drafting Torrey Horton, who I think he's tied with Ibuka for like touchdowns on the season or something, for like rookie wide receivers. And so I mean, that was an incredible hit they got at the wide receiver position there, where it makes them comfortable not necessarily needing Cooper Kupp long term if Horton can kind of fill some of that role, especially because you don't need Kupp to be the number one with how JSN's playing right now.
Yeah, unbelievable. Mike McDonald's probably not happy with the defensive performance, but I think the Seahawks are in a good spot, especially when you have like backs you can use matchup dependent with Charbonnet and Walker and the weapons they got out, like you listed. Like AJ Barner also had a heck of a game too. So like Seahawks, don't sleep on them either. They're one of the 7 teams right in it as well. So
yeah, is what we look at conference standings. Yeah, Seahawks are still the 6th seed. I mean, obviously it's still early in the season, but I like looking at how the playoffs start to shape up, now that we're post quarter way through the season. But NFC looks like it's going to be such a tight race because outside of the 7 slots, you have the Commanders, the Rams, the Falcons as like the next 3 teams. Even the Bears, I think, could have a good solid run.
There it is.
Yeah, I'll give them the credit. But yeah, so it's like you have like 4 teams, especially like if the Bears can keep their upward momentum after those last 2 games, you have 4 solid teams that will definitely be in that playoff push, which will make, I think, the NFC's playoff picture really exciting to see.
Yeah, and there's only 4 teams with losing records. Like in the conference right now.
Crazy.
Wow. So anybody's conference here. It's I think the shocking thing to see is let's see. When I look at point differential, Arizona has a +7 point differential despite like losing 3 games. So that's crazy to see itself. But yeah. Let's go to our overreaction segment. So Corstian, what do you got?
The Broncos will have back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year players.
Who is it?
Nick Bonito.
Okay. Yeah,
current,
I believe it, man. He's playing out of his mind. How many sacks does he have up to the year?
He's at 7 sacks right now. Second place is Josh Sweat with 5. Also, just another crazy stat about the Broncos and their sacks. So Broncos on the season have 21 sacks. And second place team is the Lions with 16.
Wow.
Also, the Broncos against the Colts only sacked Daniel Jones once. So that means their other 4 games, they've had 20 sacks.
5 sacks each. Wow.
Yeah. Which, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. No. Like, to get Mahomes on the ground is very, very difficult. Like, I don't think they've faced the Chiefs yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, but like Herbert and like the other cats I got to deal with. That's not even Jalen Hurts. Like trying to sack him, like that is a very difficult thing to do, and it was no tall task for the Broncos, like last Sunday. So credit to them. Okay, alrighty, quite a strong start. Let's see here. I didn't really prepare for this, so
yeah.
I don't got anything in particular, but I'm gonna say Jacksonville is gonna be a top 3 seed this year. I don't really know if that's a hot take. Kind of hot because of the way the Colts are playing right now. So I'm thinking it's gonna be somewhere like you got like Buffalo and then like Chargers and then you got Jacksonville somewhere in that order. But I just think with the talent they have, their ceiling is top 3, and I'm gonna get that prediction at their ceiling.
Maybe it's Bills, Colts, and Jacksonville as the top 3 seeds in the AFC this year.
Did they change the rules?
Or no, but imagine if they
It could
didn't
have been. Yeah. I was about to say about time, but yeah.
Yeah. Like if that change had happened, that would have been a crazy 1-2-3 punch at the top of the AFC. But yeah, Colts. Honestly, that division just seems really exciting because the Colts obviously I think Colts feel like the real deal. It might be like, it feels like similar to the Sam Darnold Vikings run that the Colts are doing right now. But then Jacksonville's looking good. Honestly, the Texans look like they'll be competitors this year, and then fortunately the Titans are struggling. But every team in the division won this week, so that's cool for the AFC South fans, I guess. I mean, I know you don't like your division winning, but also having a competitive division is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. So did I have a second prediction or a second overreaction here?
Let's see. Second overreaction. I had one earlier. What was I looking at? I don't know. I wasn't super prepared for my overreactions either. My main one was the Broncos Defensive Player of the Year because Nick Bonito's on.
Alrighty.
Okay, I have another one then.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Super overreaction. I mean, I've seen a couple people say this too, but Drake Maye is currently budget Josh Allen in terms of just like running ability and big like passing play, like being able to roll out of the pocket and make big plays on that. Where in like 2 years, I think Drake Maye will be in that same very similar caliber of player as Josh Allen, and it'll be an insane rivalry between the Patriots and the Bills with 2 Josh Allen caliber physical players.
I like it. Drake Maye, like new like we were touting him and Caleb Williams like before they came out of the draft, and just before the draft hit, I was looking at Drake May. I was like, I have a lot of concerns, and like the Patriots are completely built around him the right way. Like Kayshon Boutte, Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, and Mondre Stevenson, still a dog. I know people love Trayvon Henderson, but there's a reason they keep putting Stevenson in despite all of his fumbles. I'm not going to understand it, but the point is the surrounding cast and the offensive line around Drake May and Drake May playing out of his mind is what's going to help propel him to make that rivalry what it is. And yeah, I'm all for it. I love that one.
Yeah. Dude, Ramondre Stevenson and his stupid fumbles, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I did see, like, at least I was looking at like a Patriots forum or whatever, and like they were saying like they don't think that Henderson has like a good grasp on the playbook right now, which is limiting a lot of his snaps. Because like someone said they noticed like there was like a play where it was like I don't know, I guess it was like a designated run play, and you can see Henderson like tapping on like the fullback's back, asking what like kind of pointing like which direction he's supposed to run towards, and like the fullback like points him in like the right way or something. And then there was like a play action play where Henderson goes like he runs the opposite, like the incorrect way for the play action, where I think like Drake May, he goes to like pull it to the right of him, but then like Henderson runs past his left side, which obviously defeats part of, I mean, it still, I guess, looks kind of like it, but
obviously, play action, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of hurts the full sell of the play action when your running back can't actually run it the way that the quarterback's faking it off to. So I think that might be a little part of it, but yeah, because I mean, you'd still like to see a little bit more efficiency out of Ramondre Stevenson with, I mean, even beyond the fumbles, he's still just averaging 3.7 a carry. And then Antonio Gibson, he just got placed on IR as well. So it's like, do you trust Stevenson with that many more carries? And like, do you really try to push Trayvon Henderson into the lineup a little bit more?
All right. Mine is a really, really big hot take. Carson Wentz will get a massive contract from another team this upcoming free agency. Yeah. Why do I say this? He had a cup of coffee with Kevin O'Connell. And you've seen what Sam Darnold is doing. You see what Daniel Jones is doing. Some team is going to hop on that trend and say, Carson, you're going to make $60 a year, $60 million a year. We're going to give it to you. They're going to lead our franchise. Will it be Cincinnati? I have no idea. Will it be Arizona? Maybe. Will it be the New Orleans Saints? Even though they probably going to be lined up for a top 3 pick? I have no idea. We'll see. But Carson Wentz is going to have a home next season.
Yeah.
He's playing better than J.J. McCarthy so far.
Yeah. That'll be funny to see.
It's going to be the Sean McVay treatment, I'm telling you. Like, Kevin McConnell, quarterback whisperer, it's going to happen.
Yeah. I like that take. It'll be a fun one to see him get his bag.
$60 million a year, man. All right, what do you got?
Let's see. I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of my preseason takes have been kind of hitting to an extent. So I'm like, I feel validated in some of that, namely Puka Nacua, but I don't want to keep on like rehashing Puka Nacua.
I'll go with one. I'm not going to say Darren Waller if we're going to play in that game, but Dalton Kincaid. He's going to have a top 5 tight end season this year. Yeah. I think he's finally getting targeting on the routes that he should be for his talent level. He's not just getting balls to the flat route. He's getting targeted on seams, a lot of intermediate, deep passes more. And I think he'll become the focal point of the Buffalo Bills offense as the season wanes. He's getting a lot more looks, and I think he's going to put up a phenomenal season. Shame I can't grab him because his name is widely known and redraft at this point. but I claimed him first when he was in his lowly first and second year. So I will hold on to that pride and joy. But Dawson Kincaid, don't be surprised if he has a top 5 tight end season this year.
Yeah, I guess I have one last one here. But Quinton Judkins wins Rookie of the Year.
I hope so. I need him. I need him.
Like, what? He's played 4 games and has 347 rushing yards. Like, that's pretty baller. Like, mind you, Ashton Genty has 2 more rush yards than him. And it's like, you could say Ashton Genty's offense sucks. Well, I mean, look at the Browns, dude. Like,
man would have had 400 yards. I'm just saying, he would have had 400 yards, and the Browns will have handily beat the Vikings. But no, somebody had to screw up on the Browns, you know. So, but I've been really happy with his production so far.
Yeah, honestly, some of the league leaders is crazy to see. Like, rushing leaders this year, number 1, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, and J.K. Dobbins is your top 5. Is actually a crazy thing to see.
Just don't draft running back or wide receiver like in your first round. That's all you got to do. That's what fantasy taught us. Because the wide receivers and the running backs, you're never gonna know. You just never know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Quinton's already top 10 in rushing yards.
Yeah, he's number 9.
Wow. I think Bijan, Derek, and like Rico Dowdle will climb up there. You know, we'll see that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't mention Rico Dowdle because man had 200 yards last weekend.
Rico Dowdle's an underrated back. Like how many people? Like, if you talk to like an average football fan, right? How many people do you think would have like known Rico Dowdle had like 1,000 yards with the Cowboys last season?
I didn't think he had 1,000 yards. That was incredible.
Right? Wow. Like, Rico Dowdle? 1,000-yard season? Like, I thought it was almost a mistake for them to, like, the Cowboys to get rid of Dowdle. Because I'm like, obviously, I mean, like, he's not the perfect running back. I mean, he literally signs with the Panthers and is not the starter. So, I mean, that says a certain amount to how teams view him. Granted, the 200-yard game. But, like, he played good football last year. And so, in my head, 200-yard rushing game is 100% out of the ordinary, like out of nowhere, because I don't think anybody and their mom predicted him to run for 200 yards. Granted, it is against the Dolphins, so, I mean, really, it's any game, man. But, yeah, last year, he had 1,079 rush yards, averaging 4.6 a carry.
I mean, if Javonte Williams wasn't having the season he was with the Cowboys, I'd be thinking about the Cowboys. What the hell are you doing? Like, honestly,
right?
Like that is crazy. And single-handedly with that performance, Rico Dowdle is top 20 in rushing yards up to this season. So
it's so goofy, dude.
I got one more for you. Technically, I usually prepare 3, but I got one more for you. Spencer Rattler is going to be the starting quarterback in the New Orleans Saints next year. The way he's playing in Kellen Moore's system, I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans like decides to use that pick on a high profile like wide receiver, like offensive lineman, and build around like Spencer Rattler. Like, would I agree with it? No, because I think there's a lot of more talented quarterbacks coming out of college. But if the Saints make some noise and they springboard off this Giants game, look out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just say, like, I mean, like, Spencer Rattler, his, like, mid to deep ball just kind of sucks. Like, he hit what, like a deep ball, just last week. And literally all the Saints fans are like, he's finally completed a deep pass. And I'm like, oh, is that a week 5? That's a depressing week 5 comment to make about your quarterback. He finally completed a deep shot. And so, I mean, I I think short to like intermediate throwing, he can be solid, but it kind of just makes me think he's just like he could be like an above average game manager for a quarterback, which isn't like the worst thing, especially if there's like other aspects of the team that you really want to focus on building up before you draft a quarterback, and maybe you want to punt quarterback to like the 2027 draft. Then you're like, well, he's serviceable enough to like keep us slightly competitive while we kind of get things situated for a quarterback in 2027. So I wouldn't be surprised by that, but yeah, I long term, I don't think he's the answer at quarterback unless again he consistently can hit on the deep balls. But yeah,
maybe it's the start of something new, man. You never know. That's it for me. I don't got anything else, but Corstian, what do you got to say to people before you let them go?
Nothing much. Good football. Broncos country. Let's ride, I guess.
All right, we'll just end it there. Follow us on our Instagram page. That will get updated in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. But I'm on .a.mission. I'm on a mission, our YouTube channel, where you see our full-length videos like this. And until then, we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy football. Corstian, who you got for Thursday night? I don't remember who's playing.
I'm in a spot like that, bro. Eagles, Giants, gotta be the Eagles.
Eagles. I that's not a confident man. I don't know, but I will gonna go Eagles with cautious optimism there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, that's it for us. Enjoy your week of football that's coming up, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Peace.